So this video we're going to be going through the concept of duals. So this relates to nouns only. So far we've been discussing singular nouns. Now what I want to explain is first is this issue of states. So we know that there are certain word, if it's in a certain position in a sentence or a certain function it holds in a sentence, then it will have a certain ending. So let's look at what we've had a look at so far. What words are always Dhamma? So we have the first word of the Israel, second word of the Israel, default a noun is always as a Dhamma. What else? The subject of a verb is Dhamma. Yeah. Now, what is Fatha? It's the only one that we've done that is Fatha so far is an object. And what is always Kasra? We have any noun that comes after a preposition, and the second word of the overall. That's always Kasra. So what I propose to say now is that these ones that we've just mentioned here are actually in a Dhamma state. They're in a state of Dhamma. So that not just didn't necessarily mean that they're always going to have Dhamma, because Dhamma is only when it relates to singular. But what if it turns into a dual or a plural? Likewise, I'd say that the object here is in a Fatha state. The noun after a preposition and the second word of the overall is in a Kasra state. So these are states that you find nouns in. So as it relates to duals, how do we make a dual? So one of the things in Arabic, see, in English you have a singular and you have a plural. In Arabic you have a singular, you have a separate whole section for duals, and then you have plurals. So as far as duals are concerned, how do we then elevate a noun from being a singular into a dual? We just add a suffix to the end, and that depends on whether it's in the Dhamma state or in the Fatha state. Okay, so for duals, let's make this table. So if it's in a Dhamma state, or Fatha state, or Kasra state. So if I was to say, for example, the suffix to add to a word which is in Dhamma state would be Ani. The suffix to add to a word which is in Fatha state is Aini. So Fatha with a Ya with a Sukoon and then a Noon with a Kasra. And a noun which is in Kasra state, dual would be again Aini. Like so. So let's give some examples. If we were to say, for example, let's give an example of Dhamma state, Fatha state, and Kasra state. So let's say, for example, we have what was to say? The two Muslims ate. Yeah, so two Muslims ate. So two Muslims ate. So that's third person, dual, masculine. So what would be the requisite verb? It would be akala. So Muslims, now it's two Muslims. So let's say the two Muslims. So the two Muslims ate. So it'd be al-Muslim. Now Muslim here, because it's now the subject of the verb ate, so subject is in Dhamma state, right? So therefore the ending would be ani. Muslimani. So, akala al-Muslimani. Like so, right? Let's have a look for an example. If I wanted to say, I helped two Muslims. So now, I is a subject, helped is a verb, and the object now is two Muslims. So the verb I helped would be nasartu. So two Muslims now, let's say the two Muslims. So the two Muslims now, the two Muslims is object, therefore it's in Fatha state. So it would be al-muslimaini. Nasartu al-muslimaini. Nasartu al-muslimaini. Like so. Okay. And finally, in a kasra state, let's say for example it is the after a preposition. So I walked to the two Muslims. Yeah, so I walked to the two Muslims. So it'd be the walk is mashitu. Ila. So now it's preposition, and the preposition will cause the word to come after it to be in a kasra state. So therefore, kasra state, the ending is again aini. Muslimaini. Like so. So you see how here the subject, as a subject, is in Dhamma state, ani. Fatha state, aini. Kasra state, aini. And that's basically how verbs and how jewels work.